Hari Om. In the data mining and data warehousing course, we are currently discussing all these topics. In our previous sessions, we covered what is web mining and what is text mining. So, all these points we have already covered in our previous videos. What is text mining, we discussed. What are the different methods and techniques of text mining, also we discussed. So in this video we are going to discuss what is spatial mining. This is one of the very interesting data mining approach. We can see that the explosion in geographically referenced data and the development in information technology such as remote sensing, digital mapping, geographic information system, geographic positioning system. These emphasize the importance of developing data mining approaches to geographical analysis and modeling. So since we have geographically referenced data, a huge amount of geographically referenced data, and the information technology development such as GIS, remote sensing, etc., lead to the development of data mining approaches to analyze the geographical data as well as the modeling. The spatial data mining is a branch of data mining which deals with the spatial data. The spatial data such as the location, geo-referenced data, etc. The spatial data is also known as geospatial data, and it is a term used to describe any data related to or containing information about specific location on Earth's surface. This is what we call as spatial data. So spatial data mining is the extraction of interesting spatial patterns or models and general relationship between spatial and non-spatial data. So this is what exactly is done in spatial data mining. Some interesting patterns or models will be extracted between the spatial and extracted from the spatial data, or we may find the relationship between spatial and non-spatial data. Now, since we are dealing with spatial objects, we should understand what is a spatial object. So spatial objects usually consist of both spatial and non-spatial data. When it says spatial data, this is a data related to spatial description of objects, such as what is the coordinate of a particular data point, what is the area of that particular location, what is the latitude or longitude of that particular area, the perimeter of a particular earth area, or spatial relationships like what is the distance between two locations, what is the topology, what is the direction. So these are what we call as spatial data. So some of the examples like the earthquake points, right, at which particular point of the earth space earthquake happened, or the coordinates of a particular city on the map can be called as a spatial data. Whereas the non-spatial data are associated to the spatial objects are something like what is the degree of earthquake happened in the particular area, or what is the population of your town. That can be called as a non-spatial data. Okay, so the population and the intensity or degree of earthquake is not directly related to the location. They are indirectly related to that particular location. So we call it as non-spatial data. So any any object which occupies space can also be called a spatial object. Say for example, how this particular robo is navigating, and this medical image if you are going to take, that can also be called as a spatial object, but in general the spatial object deals with the geographical information like earthquake, ozone data, and if these data are also related to the earth surface, then we can take it as a spatial object. So spatial data are basically of three different types and are wisely used in commercial sectors. Let us see what are the three different types of spatial data. One is the map data, the other one is attribute data, and the third one is image data. So let us see what is a map data. Map data is one of the spatial data which includes different types of spatial features of the objects in the map. So when I say features, it can be points of that particular object or lines of that particular object, or it can be polygons or areas of that particular location, right? Location object. So the object's shape and location of the object within the map will also be considered as the map data. So say for example, the points of this particular area in the map, or the lines in the area of a particular map, or the polygons, right? The area defined by this structure can also be called as the map data. So these are the different kinds of map data we will be having in the spatial data. Now another type of spatial data is the attribute data. The attribute data is actually the descriptive data that is associated with the features of in the map. Map data gives you the information about the features of the objects, but here it is going to describe the features of the map data, right? That is what we call as attribute data. For example, the coordinates of the points. The points is what you call as map data, and if you specify the coordinates of the points, then it becomes the description about the point. Or the width and length of the line. Line is actually a map data, but the width and length of the lines can be called as the attribute data. Or suppose if you have buildings, so for these buildings, in addition to their location, if we give what is the type of use of that particular building, then the type of use of building can be called as the attribute data. Whether the building is a housing building, or it can be used for the business purpose, or if it is a government building, this kind of description is what we call as the attribute data, right? So you will have an area specified, and for this area, if you give the point attributes, polygon attributes, etc. in a table kind of thing, then we call this as the attribute data. So this is the map data, and for this map data, the description is given in this table, so we call it as attribute data. In the same way, this is a map that describes different polygons, and for these polygon area, you are going to give an attribute data like what is the zone number, what is the zip number of that particular area. If you are going to describe it in a table, then we call it as attribute data. The third type of spatial data is image data, and this includes camera created data like satellite images, aerial photographs, etc. So this kind of image data. So this is an image data. And objects of interest such as buildings and roads can be identified, and it can also be overlaid on these images. So if you get an image like this, on this image I can overlay some buildings, roads, rivers. These kind of information can be overlaid on this image. So aerial and satellite images are some examples of raster data. So this is one raster data that is presented in a grid of pixels. Then we call it as raster data. So this kind of data is the image data, which is one of the types of spatial data. So these are the three different types of spatial data. Now, the complexity of spatial data, obviously representing a data like this is very complex, representing a data like this is also complex, right? So the complexity of spatial data and the spatial relationships limits the usefulness of conventional data mining techniques for extracting spatial patterns. So this is the motive of having data mining techniques that involves the spatial patterns. Now, the analyst used geographical or spatial information to produce business intelligence or other results. Mining the special features of spatial information can be called as spatial mining. So this is one kind of output that we get after the spatial mining. By mining this particular area, the analyst can understand this particular area is a disease cluster. So where you will be using spatial clustering process. So using the spatial clustering. So spatial clustering is one of the data mining clustering operation or process. So applying the clustering technique on the spatial data is what we call a spatial clustering. So using the spatial clustering technique, the analyst can identify this particular area is a disease cluster, or this particular area is a infected water pump. So because of this infected water pump, the people here are affected or diagnosed with a particular disease. So this can be associated now. So this becomes a spatial association, or a relationship between this area and this area has been identified. How? Because this particular area is having infected water pump, the people in this particular area have diagnosed with a disease. So this becomes the disease cluster and this becomes the infected water pump. Now using the spatial association rule mining, we can find out this, because of this infected water pumps, this area is becoming a disease cluster area. So this is one kind of application we can say for the spatial data mining. So the spatial data mining is used in the following areas, like it can be used in the business. Say for example, determining if co-location of business with another franchisee might improve its sales. Say for example, a video store and a Pizza Hut restaurant, whether they can be located nearby, right? So use the spatial data mining here. Or store perspective, from the perspective of the stores, find a good store location that is within 50 miles of a major city and inside a state with no sales tax. Although 50 miles is probably too far to drive to avoid sales tax, many customers may live near the edge of the 50-mile radius and thus be near the state with no sales tax. So from the store's perspective, we can say this kind of information can be mined using the spatial mining. From the hospital perspective, identify the best location for opening new hospital based on the population of patients who live in each neighborhood. Or religion based classification, determine if the southeastern United States customers in a certain age or income category are most likely to prefer soft music or hard rock music. So this kind of region based classification can also be done. Region is here, it is the area, right? Area based classification. Property assessment, like in assessing the value of a house, examine the values of similar houses in the neighborhood and derive an estimate based on variations and spatial correlation. So this can be another application where the spatial mining is exclusively used. So if this is the kind of applications, we should understand the knowledge discovery task involving spatial data include the following: finding the characteristic rules, discriminant rules, association rules, deviation and evolution rules, right? So for these kind of applications, the spatial data mining must involve these kind of tasks. What kind of task? Finding the characteristic rules, discriminant rules, association rules, deviation and evolution rules. Let us see what is spatial characteristic rules. The general description of spatial data is what we call as spatial characteristic rules. Say for example, the rule that describe the general price range of houses in various regions. So this can be called as spatial characteristic rules, right? So in a particular region, what is the price range of houses? And in the same way, in various regions of a state or of a city, what is the price range of houses? So in the urban region, what is the price range of a house of 2000 square feet? What is the price of a house of 2000 square feet in a rural region? So these kind of information, if you are going to derive, then we call it as spatial characteristic rules. Whereas spatial discriminant rules is kind of comparative study, right? The description of features discriminating a class or a spatial data from other classes is what we call as spatial discriminant rules. Say for example, comparison of price ranges in different regions. So here you just describe what is the price range of a house of 2000 square feet in urban region. That's it. But here we are going to compare it. How do you compare it? If two different urban regions are there, what is the difference in the price range can be defined here. Another one is called as spatial association rules, right? So the general description of the association between spatial objects, spatial neighborhood relations. So that is what we have seen here, right? The relationship between the infected water pump area and the disease cluster can be called as spatial association rules. So here you can see an example like uncontrolled tapping of borewell water may cause tremors in neighboring areas. So this kind of information can be retrieved by using spatial association rules. And in the same way we have spatial deviation and evolution rules that describes the deviation of spatial objects. So in this particular area, this is the only area which is affected by a particular disease. So when the information is derived, it shows this area is completely deviating from other regions. So this deviation or evolution rules can also be identified using the spatial mining task. So these are the different tasks that are involved with spatial data. So that's it about the spatial data mining. So we have very briefly described what is spatial data mining. So we will be discussing what is temporal data mining in the next video. Thank you.